Welcome back to Gamer Sanctuary. It's a beautiful Sunday in Flint, Michigan. It's actually Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. We are just kickstarting the third chapter of our narrative campaign, the Aura Recentes campaign. Today we run over the rules, and only about half the players are here today, and there are 8 guys here playing 40k, so that bodes really well for the final numbers for it. We're just going to be doing some open gaming today. We had our teams selected, they elected their generals, they're getting to know each other, and then we're just going to play some casual pickup stuff today. Mike and I are going to be playing with our Horus Heresy 30k Legion stuff, my Death Guard versus his Emperor's Children, but we didn't want to just have this big old blob of purple on the table, and I'm proxying a lot of my Star Phantoms as my Death Guard, especially everything in powered armor. So we're not going to videotape our game. I'm actually going to hand the camera off to Adam and Jeff, and they're gonna be doing a bat rep for their game instead. So without any further ado, I'm going to give the camera over to Adam. He's going to go over his army, and then Jeff will go over his, and then they'll take it from there.
All right, Fresh Goes fans, this is Adam. As Josh gave the intro, I'm going to go through my army here. I'm playing against Jeff today. Familiar to those of you who've seen my towel before in the bat rep. Before, we're playing 1850 today, just kind of a pickup game before we play in the campaign next week. Jeff and I are on the same team, so we're getting a game in today because we're going to not play against each other in the campaign. So, 1850 of Tau, I've got a combined arms detachment led by Commander Arlai, my 4-year-old guy. Oops, if I can zoom in. I'm sorry if I get the camera wrong, I apologize in advance. I also have an Ethereal. I have 2 units of Fire Warriors, 10 each, a unit of Stealth Suits, Squadron of Tetra, the Yavara, the Barracuda, a Remora, and my Firebase support cadre, which is now fully painted, so lots of broadsides, and the Riptide, and finally the Skyray. So 1850, we're going to go look at Jeff's Marine Army today, and we'll be back in a second.
Alright, here. Going to be looking at running White Scars Chapter Tactics. I got a Chapter Master with Artificer Armor, Thunderhammer, and Shield Eternal. Just a Librarian level 2 on Bike. Command Squad with 4 Grav Guns and the Apothecary here. 5-man Bike Squad with the Attack Bike with Melta, and it's got 2 Meltas in the squad. Combi Melta as well. A Devastator Centurion Squad, all Grav and all of them. 1 Stalker, 1 Storm Raven with Las Cannons, Melta, and the Side Bolters. Another Bike Squad back here with 2 Grav Guns and a Combi Grav. Thunderfire Cannon. Sakaran with Ceramite Armor and the twin link, or the 2 Las Cannon Sponsons. And 1 other Bike Squad with 2 Grav Guns, a Combi Grav, and the Attack Bike with Melta.
Alright, looks good. 1850, we're going to look at the table and we'll get another shot after deployment. Okay, Jeff and I have deployed. We're about to start first turn. I'm going to go over to his side here. He's kind of got a nice line of bikes and tanks and all kinds of nasty Grav Guns ready to come down at me. He's got first turn unless I seize. And we've got the objectives on the table here. We'll go through that once he draws his. On the other side of the table, I've also kind of deployed spread out. And got to try to take as much of the cover as I can. My Ethereal's in the center, giving his leadership buff, and also the buff for the Tau, although Jeff just reminded me he's got an orbital strike coming, so. Okay, I'm going to try to seize on camera, and we'll see if it goes. Nope, not that time. Got a 3. So Jeff will be back after his first turn. Okay, Jeff's first turn, his bikes advance. This group over here turbo boosted to get as close as possible. He had a couple I did cancel one of his psychic powers, but he did get 2 off. One on the unit of theirs, Prescience, and Precognition on the Librarian. Some other bikes moved up and they're taking cover in the building. Other ones over here moved up, shot at the Riptide, and combined shooting from the bikes. The Sakaran have dropped it to 2 wounds, so a couple Grav Guns, but it did roll pretty good on invul and feel no pain. He did get a shot from his, I forget the name of it, the anti-air tank against a skimmer, so he managed to get a couple old glances. I made 1 cover save, but lost 1 hull point on the Skyray. Over here, a lot of firing on the 2 units of fire warriors in the woods. The orbital bombardment missed, but a lot of grav guns, bolt guns, and the big thunder fire cannon, of course, probably did the most damage, taking out a lot of the fire warriors. They made the morale check and are holding strong. And that was about it for the shooting phase. So lots of movement the first turn, some damage to the fire warriors, and my left flank riptide. So I'm going to draw my objective. Jeff scored 2 objective points on that over there, by the under the thunder fire. He had the same objective twice, and he discarded the other one. So right now, he did not get first blood, but he's winning 2-0. I'll be back after my turn. At the bottom of turn 1, my Tau did pretty good this turn. The riptide over here, combined with the shooting from the Skyray, managed to take out that bike squad. That gave me first blood. Over here, these guys shot across at the bike squad that were sticking out around the building. And if I can learn how to zoom on this, headline is light to a few of them. However, Jeff went crazy on the armor saves, and even though I had lots of wounds on him, I don't think I took a single bike out of that unit. Over here, my remaining fire warriors advanced a storm of fire from the ethereal. Put a lot of shots in this group, but Jeff put his chapter master out front with artificer armor and did not fail any 2-up saves. Also, and I kind of goofed this part up, the Yavara did the swooping monstrous creature thing, and I torrent flamered, but I torrent flamer through his chapter master with his 3-up invuln. He made all of his invulns. I managed to kill 1 bike this turn. That was a little disappointing from regular shooting from the haywire gun, because that was his actual. I should have positioned that flamer better so it didn't go through his chapter master. My bad. So, lesson learned. Over here, RLI, the 2 Tetras, and the broadsides over here, combined fire took out that 5-man bike squad. So there was a sergeant in those units, so I managed to score the assassinate because it counted as a character, and I secured objective 1. So with first blood, I am now winning 3-2. So Jeff's turn 2 is coming up. Okay, I was top of turn 2 just finished. This was an eventful turn. We had a couple rules questions too, which we'll pose to everybody. But started with the Storm Raven coming in. Jeff elected to not jink against my intercepting broadsides, which fired their high-yield missiles. And I managed to get 1 pen, which stunned his crew, which made him have to snap fire anyway. So it took a hull point off. He snap fired everything, but did not wound the Riptide. Over here, the rest of the shooting also fired at the Riptide, and he managed to just stay alive with 1 wound left. I think the rending from the Sakaran did the 1 wound the turn. So that Riptide's still functional, much to Jeff's chagrin. Over here, his Librarian broke off to claim an objective in the center, but not before casting Prescience on the Centurions, which opened up with their heavy grav. And because I had Nova Charge to get a 3-up invuln, I managed to survive with the Yavara. He's down to 2 wounds. But between 3-up invuln and 5-up field no pain, he survived a lot of wounds from those grav cannons. So Jeff did bypass him with his command squad and commander to go after my commander. I left him a little bit exposed. Overwatch did nothing, and he managed to get into assault. We did have a couple questions on this. First of all, he was shooting grav guns against RLI and his drone, and there was 2 different armor saves. So we had a unit consisting of 2 models, one with armor save 3 and one with armor save 4. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt to wound on 3s, but I don't know the official rule on that with grav guns versus equal armor saved mixed unit. So secondary, when he got in there, we were involved in a challenge, and the question was there was never any other unit models for the rest of the unit to attack, but we assumed the spillover would still go into the challenge. But the end result is my warlord is dead. RLI did not survive. He did survive against the Thunderhammer 1 hit, but with 1 wound left, the rest of the bike squad managed to take him out. But anyway, that was the assault phase. Rest of the shooting, the Thunderfire had killed off that unit of Fire Warriors, and other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot more shooting going on. As I said, Jeff kind of focused a lot on that Riptide. This combat over here, those bikes, not much effective shooting. I think they killed one drone. They made it into combat. Pretty much a lot of whiffing. The broadsides are holding their own against bikes without special weapons. And the bikes made all their armor saves against the return. So Jeff decided to not use hit and run, and we're just locked in combat there. So it will be my turn 2 coming up. Jeff scored 2 points, objective there in Warlord, so he's now winning 4-3, and we'll start turn 2. Okay, we just finished up my turn. It was bottom of 2. The Riptide over here tried to kill, I still don't know the name of that tank, the anti-air tank. Apparently it's armor 12 in the front and not a Rhino. But even with Tank Hunter, I failed to pen, and I also failed to assault it. So nothing going on over there. Over here, my the Skyray fired 2 marker lights and 1 hit on the Storm Raven. However, my Barracuda over here fired all kinds of strength 7 shots at it with ballistic skill 5. Jeff did jink and made us 1 successful jink save against my 1 pen. So he is jinking, but did no damage to the Storm Raven. Continuing across the board here, my broadsides did actually win in combat. Killed 1 bike, and Jeff didn't do anything back. He made his morale check, but did a hit and run, and I consolidated it back to the hill. So on his turn, he's free to maneuver there. Over here, all kinds of, the Yavara jumped over. The Torrent Flamer, this time I positioned it better. Killed a bunch of his command spot. He was definitely making a lot of feel no pains, but still got enough wounds to kill the command squad off with the Yavara. And then I opened up with marker lights, heavy rail cannons, pulse rifles, and he is making save after save on his chapter master. So this guy's just proven to be tough, and for whatever reason I decided to charge with the Yavara. Made his charge. Didn't do any damage on the impact hit, and I forgot I was concussed from taking a wound last turn. We checked the rule on that, and apparently it lasts until the next assault phase. So I swung in initiative 1. Unfortunately, he hit with all 4 Thunderhammer attacks, and I couldn't make all those feel no pains and invuln saves. I did 1 wound, so I've dropped him down to 1, but he finished off the Yavara in combat on my turn. So other exciting news over here, the outflanking Stelsius came on, put a lot of shots into there, but the toughness 7 for the Thunderfire, and he made all the saves. I didn't really do that many wounds. Did I do any wounds to it? No. I didn't do any wounds. I have a lot of dice, but no damage. However, they are standing over there to give me behind enemy lines this turn and secure objective 5. So I did get 2 points this turn, but Jeff's turn 3 didn't really. He's still got a lot on the board, even though he says I killed a lot of bikes, but he's still got this guy who just seems unkillable. So we'll see how he does this turn. Okay, we just finished up the bottom of turn 3. And Jeff did some more maneuvering here. Storm Raven got up in my face. The Sakaran with las cannon finished off the Riptide. He snap fired with his Storm Raven, didn't really do much. The Librarian that had broken off earlier made it into combat over here and made some amazing saves thanks to getting precognition off. So he re-rolled a lot of armor saves and survived to get into combat from Overwatch and everything. But he's down to 1 wound. I did get 1 wound off of him. But the combat, I made my morale check. He did 1 wound to a broadside, finishing that wounded one off, and we're just stuck in combat there. He did fire the melta-guns at the Skyray, but I jinked, and then he made it into combat, failed to do anything, so just nothing there, but I have to over here, he fired at the Barracuda. I jinked and survived there for the 1 pen shot he got off. You notice his chapter master decided to hightail it around this piece of cover with his 1 wound. However, he did get objective 6 there, which is one of his objectives this turn. In fact, he scored that one. He got objective secured because his bikes are troops, so I'm not contesting there. And he got another point from 3, just barely to securing within 3 inches of that objective. So he's got 7 points right now to my 5, and we're about to start bottom of 3. Okay, turns are getting faster since we've wiped each other out mostly. My stealth suits decided to not fire at the Thunderfire and finish off as Chapter Master. So 7 wounds on him, and he made one. He finally failed one of his 2-up armor saves.
Did he say where he's from?
Over here, the Tetras marker lighted the Centurions coming up the middle here, and the Fire Warriors unfortunately didn't do any damage to him. He made all his armor saves, even with the marker lights and Storm of Fire from the Ethereal. So those guys are going to be a problem for me to deal with. The Barracuda over here, snap fired, got one glance on whatever that tank is. I'll learn by the end of the game, guys, I swear. And over here, I backed off on the Skyray. It had the snap fire at the bikes, didn't do anything. The combat over here with the Librarian was a kind of a not much damage. He couldn't get through my 2-up armor, and I couldn't do much to him hitting-wise. So at the end of my turn, he decided to hit and run and made it very close over to objective 1 to contest. So this Librarian is with 1 wound, but zipping around my back lines here. So I managed to only score 1 objective that turn, so I'm total of 6 points to his 7. And we'll start top of 4. Bottom of 4, Jeff is starting to run away with it. He's getting 3 points a turn on me versus my 1. So he just scored another 3, so he's sitting at 10 points to my 6. Fire Warriors have gotten wiped out here by the Graf Centurions. I lost the Ethereal. Actually, he's at 11 points because the Ethereal gives him an extra 1. He had Assassinate, so that was 1. Objective 1 now he had, and then objective 5 over here. So yeah, that was his 3 points this turn. And I'm starting to run out of stuff to shoot with. I've got the remnants of this broadside unit. The Storm Raven has decided to just start kicking butt with those. My Blood Angels, I never took the Hurricane. He's getting a lot of wounds with those too, the bolters. So even the bolters from the Grav Centurions are doing good against, well, Fire Warriors, but still. So over here, he dropped the barrage, only killing 1 stealth suit because I spread out a little bit. But 10 to 6, and my turn's coming up, but I got a long way to bottom 4 win really quick. I zoomed off the table with my Barracuda. This remaining broadside and his missile drone decided to finish off the Librarian, sitting on that objective. Over here, I tried to focus fire with marker lights and burst cannons on his Tech Marine. I got a bunch of wounds that time, but still 2-up save, and he's fine. So I wasn't able to score objective 2 there. Disappointing, but I did get 1 point that turn. Actually, I got 3 points that turn. I had 2 points that turn because I had Kingslayer, and I rolled 2 victory points for that. So I'm sitting now at 8 to 10, but Jeff's, this will be turn 5. We'll probably call it after this, so we'll see how he finishes up the game and see if I can pull out a Hail Mary on the last turn somehow. But all right, that's it. Turn 5 went pretty quick. Finished off my last broadsides over there. He did a lot of shooting at these Tetras, and humorously I made a bunch of jinx saves with this last one in the squadron from Grav and also from the Thunderfire. So it's sitting at one hull point left. But the big story though is Jeff turbo boosted his bikes to go back to that objective and get that one. And what was the other one you got?
The tanks.
Oh yeah, the Sicarian over here has been scoring this one a lot. So he's been definitely getting the points and stuff's surviving, and mine's not. So we'll do the last turn here, and my flyer will come back in, see if I get any crazy objectives, and wrap it up. All right, it is over. We probably could play it out, but end of turn 5, we're not much left. Jeff has won 13 to 9, and I am not. I have new respect for the Thunderfire cannon and its ability to survive. I did only 1 wound to that Tech Marine, but yeah, it's a lot of fire on that thing. Graf Centurion's probably where your MVP. And the Thunderfire, actually. Bikes were obviously doing good, but I focus fired on them a lot, so I killed pretty much all the bikes in his arm. Oh, he had 2 left in the middle. What's the name of this tank again? Because
Stalker.
The Stalker. I kept calling it as that thing that shoots at flyers that Marines get. So the Stalker was doing okay. The Sicarian was scoring points like crazy over here and just being annoying. So good game by Jeff there, and yeah, it's New Marines. Still good to me. I mean, I don't know. Grav Centurions, bikes with Grav guns, and lots of good support and maneuverable things. So, all right, well, good game, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.